Okay, Zach. So I got to ask you this since we're talking about relationship
Oh
status and
no,
social
my
media.
my mom
Have you
listens to this
ever posted your
podcast.
relationship? I'm not going to get too. We're not going to get too crazy here. I'm just going to ask you: have you ever posted your relationship status on social media?
Jokingly, the answer to that is never had anything post, but the honest answer is I have not. There, like joking aside, like I've posted photos and that kind of stuff of relationships and whatnot, but not once have I ever thought like, oh, is this Facebook official? Like it's just not, it's not something I can bring myself to do. Uh, Gabe, if I go to
Okay.
your
All
Facebook
right.
right now,
I'm
is it
just
going to say
curious.
you're married or what am I going to see?
No, there is like no information on my Facebook. My Facebook is so boring. The only thing I use it for is work related stuff. So I
That's
also,
that's LinkedIn,
not that you
man.
asked, but I'm just going to tell you anyway. I know, but my Facebook is super boring, man. I pretty much just use it for work stuff. I have Instagram, and that's where more of like the pictures of my kids and my wife and things like that go. But I actually don't post that much there either. Um, but my wife and I have been together for a long time, and we were together before there was such a thing as Facebook. So I never got the opportunity to determine whether it was Facebook official or not when we first started
Oh man,
dating.
you got
So
lucky.
I've never had the pleasure of posting a relationship
Well,
status
the
either.
problem with that, Gabe, is you posted, everything's happy, everyone's commenting, yay, good for you, round of applause and everything. But then, like, not to like bring the podcast down, but there's a point when you might have to remove that, and that's when like people start,
Hmm.
asking questions like, oh, he changed his Facebook status, he changed his image. But one of the things I've always thought was complicated, and I don't know if this is still a thing because I refuse to put my relationship status on Facebook. Maybe when I'm engaged and married, and that seems like a big enough event. But there's an option for it's complicated, and like I just can't wrap my head like, why would you want people to know that? Like the I think there's a point on Facebook when you overshare content. To your point, you use Facebook for
Agreed.
business stuff a lot, which is not quite the intention of Facebook. Gabe, we got to get you caught up to speed here. But I don't use Facebook
Uh,
that much. I post photos when I'm traveling, hiking, stuff like that, and that's really all I post. A lot of my content is on Instagram. So while I'm not deleting
mhm.
relationship statuses on Facebook or Instagram, occasionally you might see a photo disappear, but I and remind me of this whenever the time comes, but I will not put my relationship status on Facebook because I don't want to be
I'm going to
advertised.
remind you of this someday in the future,
I don't want to
Zach.
be
It's gonna
advertised
be
based on my
it's gonna be a lot
relationship
of fun.
status. That's what I'm going to tell people. But anyway,
Well, so this is we were talking about this, and I think this is a topic probably for another podcast. So we'll put a pin in it here, and we can talk about it later. But this idea of trigger events and trigger events around changes in your relationship, I think, are really interesting too. And Facebook actually has a bunch of targeting that you can do around life events. So you can target people who recently got engaged, recently got married. And, maybe those are folks that would actually make sense for a mattress ad to bring this full circle to the Casper example. So there's a lot of really cool things that you can do there around life event targeting that I think would be an interesting topic for the future as well.